Hello leopards! Welcome to Story Time. Today's story is a story from a magazine. Many years ago, I used to be able to buy this magazine. It's called the Teacher's Pet magazine. I really miss this magazine. And each theme had nice ideas for teachers and a story to go with the theme. So our story for today comes from the magazine. Our story is called The Snow Princess, and it's a story about 3 polar bear sisters. So it goes with our Arctic animal and winter theme. So make sure you are comfortable, warm and cozy. Get something to snuggle up with. I've got Leopard here next to me, and I'll put the pictures in between the video because I can't keep it up to hold for you, then I can't read the words. So have a listen. The Snow Princess. Far, far north, where the polar winds blow. So where's the story taking place? The South Pole? No. In Africa? No. In the Arctic. There's a land of ice and snow called Northland. In a huge palace lived a mighty polar bear king and his 3 daughters, Aki, Taki, and Anouk. Anouk was the youngest and, of course, the smallest polar bear princess. Her sisters teased her all the time. Anouk wished she could speak up, but she was shy and never knew what to say. So she just kept quiet. "Look, ladies," said Tuk Tuk, the royal seagull. "You will never become queens if you are so mean and cruel to Anouk." "Nonsense, I will be queen," insisted Aki. "Oh, no, you won't, I will," growled Taki. "Our father is very wise," whispered Anouk. "I am sure he'll choose the right one of us to be the next queen." One morning, Tuk Tuk, that's the seagull, gathered everyone to listen to a royal announcement. "Tonight," he squawked, "the king will choose our next queen. He will choose the daughter who shows him the most love and loyalty." "I'll write father a wonderful poem," boasted Aki. "I'll sing him a beautiful song," Taki said. "Oh dear," thought Anouk. "I'm too shy to talk in front of everybody. Maybe I could catch him a fish instead." But Anouk had never caught a fish before. She tried all day long without any luck. She was about to give up when suddenly there was a loud splash. Anouk plunged her paw into the icy water and caught a huge golden fish. It wiggled and waggled, but she didn't let it go. Proudly, Anouk carried the fish back to the palace. She was so pleased that she forgot to watch where she was going, and crash! She fell into a deep, dark hole in the ice. It was too steep for her to climb out, but her sisters heard her calling and said, "Look who's here! Our darling sister! Of course we will help you, but first pass us your beautiful fish. Then we will pull you out." Anouk did exactly what they told her, but as soon as they had the fish, her sisters ran away, leaving Anouk behind. Who does this remind you of? For me, I'm thinking of Cinderella and her mean stepsisters. This is horrible, hey? If Tuk Tuk the seagull hadn't heard her calling, Anouk would have frozen in the icy hole. "Quick, Anouk, hurry back to the palace. The king is waiting for you," he cried. Back at the palace, Aki read their father her poem. Taki sang her song. The king smiled at them with delight. When they were done, Aki presented the king with a beautiful golden fish they had taken from Anouk. "Now, Anouk, it's your turn. What do you want to say to me?" said her father. Anouk was so nervous, but she stepped forward slowly and said, I love you, father." "Is that all?" roared the king. "Nothing more? Anouk, you have displeased me. Your sisters will both become queens of Northland, but I never want to see you again. Leave my palace now." That's a cruel thing to do, right? With tears in her eyes, Anouk fled from the palace. At last, with no more strength to run and no tears left to cry, she lay down to sleep. She heard a little sob nearby, and there, shivering in the snow, was a tiny wolf cub. Together they snuggled up to keep warm. When they woke up, there were 100 pairs of eyes on them. "How can we ever thank you for saving our cub's life?" the wolves asked. Shyly, Anouk told her story, and when she was done, the kind wolves begged her to stay. "Stay with us, Anouk. Stay for as long as you like." So Anouk stayed with the wolves. They accepted her and they loved her. They taught her to run and hunt and how to play. Every day, Anouk and the wolf cub grew bigger and stronger, and so did their friendship. One winter, Anouk spotted a scrawny seagull resting on a rock. "Tuk Tuk, is that you?" she asked. "Anouk, I've been searching for you. I am so happy to see you. Your father needs you because your evil sisters became queens and threw him out of the palace." "Quick, take me to my father," begged Anouk. They found the old polar bear king in a dark cave. He was weak and tired, and when he saw Anouk, the tears ran down his face and he hugged her tightly. "Forgive me, my child. I treated you cruelly and should never have sent you away." "Oh, Daddy, I love you. I've never stopped loving you. My friends and I will take you home," said Anouk. She's a very kind polar bear with a good heart, because she didn't stay cross with her daddy, did she? She forgave him when he said sorry. So Anouk, her father, and all the wolves set off to Northland. When they reached the palace gates, the guards were so happy to see them that they let them in, because they remembered how kind the king and Anouk had been. When Aki and Taki, that's the two sisters, saw them, they screamed, "Get out, sister, this is our palace now." But Anouk was no longer afraid of them, and she gave such a loud roar that Aki and Taki turned and ran away as fast as they could. Luckily, they were never seen again, and all of Northland cheered their thanks to Anouk and the wolves. Anouk became the true king of Northland, and she was, of course, a good and wise queen who brought peace and happiness to Northland. So sometimes we don't get along with everybody. Sometimes even in our family, we tend to be mean, or we can be ugly towards each other. But what does the story teach us? Does it help you to be mean and cruel? No. Just like Anouk, we must stay kind and loving and forgiving. Sometimes people make mistakes and sometimes they get mean, but they regret it later. Just like the king, he said he was sorry. Sometimes we say or do things without thinking about what we say and do. And then we must remember this little polar bear Anouk and what she taught us. To stay kind always, and forgiving and loving. I hope you enjoyed our polar bear story. Bye-bye, leopards.